Hope you're all having yourself a great day. So today I thought I would show a video on an item that I had made, which was in my unwrapping, or not my unwrapping, it was under my Peldorri setup video. And I had a comment from a viewer that wanted to see how I made it. So I thought that I would share that today. It was perfect timing because I just happened to be making one for a friend. For starters, I'll show you what item was being referred to. So it was this folder right here that I have, that I use in my Peldorri. It's just a little folder, and the back of the folder I have over here. So I'm going to take it out so I can show you guys. I'll move my Peldorri away. So this is what it looks like, and it's really simple to do. It looks high quality because of the gloss. And that really has to do with the type of paper that I used. So this is what I'm going to show you how to make today, and all you're going to need is a file folder or cardboard or some kind of cardstock. Whatever you want to use is fine. And I used a pair of scissors. On mine I do have a little piece of decorative art that I got, and I had purchased that through the dollar store quite a few years ago. You can use whatever you like, but it was just a box of different words and cards that I had. So I have another one I'll show you. Just looks like this. And I'm not going to use that on the one that I'm going to make today, but if you want to decorate it, you can do that as well. And the last item I use is called Protector. And it goes by so many different names. This is the clear contact paper that you can put over an item to protect it, especially if you're going to use a cardstock. I would recommend covering it with something like this. Now, the folder that I'm using doesn't necessarily call for it, but this is what I use to secure my folder together, rather than using tape or anything like that. Now, the folder that I'm using, I got these from the dollar store. They're really nice and cute, and you know, the dollar store offers lots of different options on folders. This one just happened to be a glossy, so it has like a glossy film cover over it, which gives it that more kind of rich, sophisticated look. So that's what I'm going to be using today in this video. So let's get started. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to start off by folding this inside out, because I don't want to be writing on the side that I'm going to be looking at. And what I start off by doing is using either a ruler or an item that you can use to determine the size that you want. Okay, so that's the first thing. Now, because this is going in my Peldorri, I'm actually using one of my traveler books that fits and is made for my Peldorri. So this is what I'm using to determine the size. The second part is I use a file folder because I like the fact that it already, there we go, it already has the fold on the side. So the part that folds in half right here is the part that I'm using for the side of my folder as well. So when I flip this inside out, where it folds is where I'm going to want to measure up against. So to keep it simple, I'm just measuring the side up against it and along the bottom as well. And then I'm going to draw around. So give me a moment to do that. I think that roughly is what I'm looking for. Exactly. Okay. So the first part is that. The second part is I'm going to do it a second time. So I'm going to take this and line it up against the line that I just drew. And as you can see, it's pretty much, this file pretty much is twice the size of the book. So it's just perfect in terms of what I'm looking for. So all I'm going to do is draw a line along the top right to the end. And that's because I'm going to use this and this as my sides. So now I'm going to cut. Just going to cut along the lines there. So that's cut out, and then we can flip it over, and we now have what we're going to be using as our file. So that's one piece. I'm going to continue to cut this. Now you just want to make sure it's lined up and hold on to it tightly. But we're not going to be using the entire thing, so it's okay if it's not perfect. We're primarily going to be using the bottom part. So it's okay that this part is cut out because I'm not going to be using that. So we'll put our scraps aside. What I then do is determine how I want to cut these pieces. Now what I did in my other book that you'll notice is I just cut up along like this. So I'm actually going to use this piece because this is the piece that has the cutout, and I'm going to use this to line up how I'm going to do it. So if we quickly take a look at the one that I've already made, you can see that that's how I've cut it, is like that. Now it's not perfect. There's a little gap in between. I did that on purpose so that it wasn't, when it was in my Peldorri, I found that it was overlapping a bit much, so I put an extra little gap there. But you can do just as high as what I have. You can do it this way, whichever way that you want. I'll quickly show you another one that I did. Give me a second here. So here's another one that I did. So this is the one that I was showing you. And this is another one that I did, which I just put a little sticker that said spring on it. And look at the difference on the inside. So this one, I made it with 2 pockets, whereas this one, I decorated it with some washi tape, and I made it with 1 pocket all the way on the bottom and 2 little pockets up here that I can just slide stickers into, or some of my paper clip bookmarks that I have. You might have seen this in my video as well, the Pelldori unwrapping video. So I make these as well, and I made these pockets specifically so I can carry some extras around with me like that. But I'm not currently using this folder, but I have it for down the road when I want to make some changes to my Pelldori, if I wanted to use a different folder or whatnot. So there's many different ways that you can style these. You just have to determine which one works best for you. Okay? So I'm going to use this piece, and I'm going to cut up. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah, I'm going to make it similar to the first one that I have, like this. And I'm going to, that's what I'm going to do. It's not going to be as high, but I'm going to cut up this way. So this is where you're going to want to get out your ruler and flip it around. But if you have this as well, you can use it as a guide. If you don't, then just measure out what works for you. And draw your line like so. And I'm going to cut there. Yeah, I like that. So that's what I'm going to do. And then at this point, I'm going to grab the other one that I have, and I'm going to trace it. But I need to make it the opposite, so it's going to be like this. I'm actually going to cut it on this side just to make sure I don't do it the wrong way, because that wouldn't be good. So I'm going to do it like that, and I'm just going to cut along that line. Like that. And now I have my 2 pockets. Let's see how it looks. I like that. So that's how it's going to look when we're done. Yeah, I like that a lot. That looks really good. All right, so we're going to move on to step number 3. In step 3, I use this. If you'd rather use tape, you can do that as well. I just find that using this really protects my folder and really makes it that it stays together and that you don't have to worry about it popping apart or anything like that with regular tape. So I use this. This is similar to contact paper. This is called Protector, and I actually got this from the Dollarama for $2 and, oh sorry, I was gonna say $2.50. I actually got it apparently for $1.25, so even better. And for $1.25 you get 17.7 inches by 30 inches. So I've worked out the math on Amazon. You can roughly get on Amazon for about $7 or $8, equivalent to about 3 or 4 of these from the dollar store, which is still a better cost. So yeah, I bought myself a ton of these. This is what I'm going to be using. If you don't have this, you could watch this video later and go get yourself some, or you could just use whatever works for you. Regular masking tape or just regular tape altogether. But I'll show you why I like to use this. So what I do is I take the folders and put them aside, and I'm going to start off by using this to measure how much of the contact paper I want. So I'm opening it up, and you can see where I made a little cut here, because I roughly want about 1 inch on this side and about 1 inch on this side and about 1 inch on the bottom as well. And I want it so it's going to cover all of the actual folder itself. So I'm going to make another cut up here so I know roughly where I'm stopping, so I don't cut some of it that I don't need. And that's how I measure out how much I'd like to use. And I'm just going to cut roughly where I made my nicks. Now, what I like about this is it has the lines in the graph to show you, so you know where to cut, to kind of guide you. So you don't need to be drawing on it or marking it up or anything like that. So I just cut along the lines. It makes it so I can cut straight as well, which I like. Now that was a little messy right there. Let me get there a little closer. There we go. Okay, so now I have the perfect amount that I'm looking for, and I want to cover the entire folder with this. This is what protects it, and this is what helps me secure the pockets on. So in order to do that, you got to be really careful when you're peeling it off and peeling it on to avoid any bubbles or anything like that. So I'm going to start from the top. I'm just going to try. If you actually go to the edge, it's easier because it has a little spot for you that you can peel right off like that. So I'm going to peel it off slowly, like that. Now this one has a little nick in it. I'm still going to use it though, just for the sake of the tutorial, but normally I'd probably get another piece. And this is where I'm going to start laying it down. I'm going to start up here because this is the part that can go flush with the top. I'm going to try to line it up, and then I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to pull it up a little because I want to make sure that there's no bubbles in it, because as you can see, I'm doing this very messy right now. Of course, because I'm on camera. But as you can see, it comes off very easy first off. But just go very slowly when you're putting it down, like that. You just feel it out, it goes on really nicely. And as you can see, I was able to pull it off very easily because of the type of paper, glossy paper I was using underneath. Whereas if you're using cardstock, you're going to want to go really slow. And I would even recommend the surface underneath being that of a table of some sort, whereas right now I'm using Bristol board so that you guys can see the project. Okay? But that's what I originally did, is I used a table that if it got stuck on the table, easily peeled right off. Okay. So now that we have the protector on one side, we're going to flip it over, and this is where we're going to grab our pockets. So place the pockets where you want them, And the first thing that I had to do was take my scissors and I'm going to cut right in the middle so that it folds over easily. I'm going to cut right on the side here. Again, it's all about making sure that it folds over easily. I'm going to cut right here as well because we want to make sure that we can fold it over. And let's start with that, and then I'll show you where else I'm going to cut in a moment. So let's start off by you line it up with the bottom like so. And I'm going to start with the bottom. So I'm just going to lift it over, press it down in the middle, and then across, and making sure that there's no bubbles. So you got to watch how you press it down. And then I'm going to do the same over here. I would recommend when you do the bottoms, cut them upward, not this way. Cut them up. It just helps to secure it much better. So again, I'm going to do that and secure the bottom like so. I'm going to cut this small piece off right here because I don't need that. And then we have to cut where the folders end at the top. So again, I'm going to put a cut right here. And the reason for that is if you fold it all the way over, you're not going to be able to fully open your pocket. Your pocket will end halfway up and you won't be able to put all your stuff in. And then again, we're going to put a cut right there. And then we're going to fold this over. Now, as you can see, this one ended up being a little bit more than 1 inch of what I wanted. So I need to trim that so it doesn't cover the pocket. So I'm going to trim it. Apparently my measurements weren't as on as I thought. But I'm sure when you do this, your measurements will be much better than mine. Okay. So now I'm going to fold that over. And it was still a little bit up here, so I'm going to cut that piece off. Or actually, you can just fold it under like that. And then I'm going to fold this piece over up here just to help secure it a little bit more. And you're not going to see it. It's completely transparent. I'm going to pull this piece of tape off. So again, fold that over, lift this up, fold there, fold this piece over, and then we're done with that. What I'm going to do now is close the book and just press firmly to help close it. And then if you have any excess up here, to trim that off, which I do. So I'm going to just trim around like that. And let's take a look. So this is what our finished project looks like. And now we have our finished project. So if you take a look, that was a quick project, didn't take too long, looks really good. I love this flower here, it looks so cute. And if you want to jazz it up, you can put a little piece of art on the front if you'd like, totally up to you. So those are the pockets for today. Again, here's the final one that we just made together today. Super cute. And for the other pocket that I have, if anybody's interested in this one, it was the same concept as the other pocket that we did today. Only difference is instead of cutting, I just used one full piece at the bottom and took the scraps and made 2 little pockets on the side, or on the top, sorry, and used the same idea, which was that contact paper to go all the way around, because that is what I find secures it really well compared to something like tape or whatever else you might use. In the meantime, before I posted this video, I did make another one right here as well. I had found some more really nice that same type of material at the Dollarama. So I made myself another one today. Did a little bit different with this one. I made two little cute pockets on top. See if I can show you. Like that, with the same idea with the contact paper. And I mean, as long as you're not pulling on it too much, it's not going to come apart. I haven't had any issues, and I did that because I wanted to have two little pockets on top to be able to put in my little bookmarks that I also made. So I thought it looked really cute in how they sit right on top, and then I can put whatever else I want in the side pockets. So that was another one that I made, and as you can see, they're really easy to do. So those are the 4 that I've done so far, and I hope that you found this video helpful. Leave me a comment on what you thought, if you tried it out, or if you have any questions. I'd be more than happy to answer them. Other than that, guys, I hope you all have a great day. Love, peace, everybody. Bye.